guys, this is Princess here, aka the Royal Muse, and today I'm going to be talking about college essentials. So I think about a year ago I made a K-pop pastel dorm tour video, and a lot of you guys liked it, and in the comment section a lot of you guys were requested that I make a video kind of like detailing what exactly to bring to college, or what to bring to a dorm. And a few of you asked me to make videos on like what to bring to like UTA, which is the University of Texas at Arlington specifically, since that is the university that I attend. So I decided to just do a little mini college series on my channel. I'll be making another video about more dorm specific items, but for this video I'm going to focus on like general college essentials. But enough with the intro. I made a list here on my laptop of 13 different things that I feel are essential to every college student. Obviously, it's like my personal opinion, so cater it to your specific needs and your specific interests, but I think that this is a pretty good list that will make sure that you're comfortable and have everything you need for college. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I have on my list is a keychain with a detachable ID holder. This one is pretty obvious, but you know, every college student needs a keychain to hold your college ID, your keys, your dorm keys, depending on whether or not your dorms use like a key or like a ID. The reason why I specified with a detachable ID holder slash like ring or hook is because this is what's gonna make using your keychain much more convenient. For example, for me, I have everything that I would need to like, you know, go out on. So I have my car keys, I have my dorm key, my apartment key when I moved to an apartment, my ID, which was on my ID holder. I would carry my pepper spray, my personal alarm, and that would all be on like my main keychain. But the thing is, carrying that everywhere, especially to places where I know I wouldn't need like my pepper spray, for instance, was a lot to carry. It really helped me out to like buy like a detachable, like to buy a keychain with a detachable part at the bottom, because I would just keep everything I would need for a quick trip on the detachable part. So instead of having to take my whole entire long keychain with me everywhere, when I know it'd just be a short trip where I would only need like my car keys, for instance, or just my ID, I would keep those parts on the detachable part so that like my whole keychain would be hanging on a command hook, and when I would need it, I would just detach it from the bottom and go. Or if I would need my whole keychain, you could just, you know, keep the detachable part on and take the whole thing with you. I highly recommend you getting a keychain with a detachable bottom, and then also buying like a little bracelet to put on that detachable part so that you could like have a really highly functional and convenient keychain to use for college. Okay, so the second thing that I have on my list are file folders. So I got this tip from Reddit, which by the way is a good place to go for like college tips, for like ideas on what to bring to college. Like it helped me a lot, and it saved me a lot of like stress, and like it saved me a lot of trouble, because like, you know, I just followed people's advice and it worked pretty much the first time, and you know, it's been great. The tip that I got on there was to have 2 file folders, and not like a big file folder thingy that you put in like an office, but like they're portable, kind of narrow, small little file folders. I got mine on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description box if I can find it, but basically I have 2. I have one for putting it into my backpack, and it carries like all of my syllabuses in there, or syllabi, right? It's not syllabuses, it's syllabi, English. But all my syllabi go inside that file folder that goes to my backpack, and I also just put like handouts that I would get in my classes when I would go to class in there, and I'd put like all of my homework and stuff that I needed to turn in there. So it's basically like my everyday use file folder, It had like enough for all my classes and even extras for like extra loose leaf paper or like Scantrons. That's what I would use one folder for. And then my second folder, that one would stay inside my dorm by like my desk. And I put it in like a little container thingy under my desk. Basically throughout the semester, all the graded work that would come back, I would put it into that folder. And at the end of the semester, I would basically keep all the graded work that I would need a reference later on, or I would just toss anything that I wouldn't need anymore. And this has been a great system that keeps me really organized, and yeah, I highly recommend doing that. By the way, I know I said that I had 13 things on here, but now that I mentioned Scantrons, like Scantrons are another thing that's a college essential. No matter what your major is, you're probably going to be required to take a general education class, and usually those are like your histories, your sciences, your maths, and usually they require like a Scantron to take a test. And I don't know, some classes or teachers like give you Scantrons, but a lot of them don't, and they require you to like bring your own. So that's another thing that I'll just add on the list. But you can always just buy them at your school store once you get to college. Moving on, the next thing on my list is good stationery. Now, I don't mean go crazy and like buy a bunch of Tombow liner pens and like all these stickers and stuff. If you want to, go ahead. Stationery is awesome. But when I mean good stationery, I mean like good basic stationery items that you'll be using every day in college, so that like they'll last a long time. You won't have to constantly buy more, and they'll be high quality enough to like save you the trouble of like bleeding or ripping easily. Off the top of my head, I know I got Muji A5 notebooks. They're like really thin, really portable, but they actually have a decent amount of paper in each notebook, and they each have like a little colored strip so you can tell them apart from each other. They're not that expensive at all. I got them on Amazon, and the paper is very high quality, like nothing bleeds through it. Like I would use, you know, a bunch of highlighters and stuff and nothing would bleed, and they're awesome. So I highly recommend Muji notebooks. As for the actual writing utensils, I would use Pentel Energel needle tip pens. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description of all these items, by the way. But I got recommended those by another YouTuber. Her name is Study Tea. I'm sure a bunch of you guys have heard of her before, but she basically makes a lot of really good like school videos and like aesthetically pleasing like notes videos. She would always highly recommend the Pentel Energel pens, and I bought a pack of them from Amazon as well. They're really good. Like they're a little bit more pricier than normal pens, but they're refillable, and so once you buy like the first pack, you never have to buy like another pack of pens again, which I haven't. I still have the same pack of I think 5-6 pens that I bought the first time, and the ink cartridges lasted a long time. I think after like the second year I needed to like refill my cartridges, so I just ordered like a cartridge refill box from Amazon, and it came with a lot of refills, so I probably won't need to buy any more pens for like a long time. So I highly recommend those pens. They dry super quickly, like insanely quickly, so you could like almost immediately go in with your highlighters after that and they wouldn't smudge. So highly recommend those. For the highlighters, everyone knows these by now, but zebra mild liners are the best. Everyone uses them. They have a bunch of cute colors. Highly recommend. I got like just the small pastel set, I believe. But yeah, they're great. Like they're popular for a reason. Like they're pretty good quality. The colors are mild, like the name says. So like they're not super like in your face saturated and like blind you like those crazy fluorescent yellows and greens do in normal highlighters. But yeah, so I highly recommend those for highlighters. I also got me a couple of, I forgot the company. I'll go ahead and link these in the description box below, but they're basically like highlighters that you can erase. So I got them specifically for textbooks. So especially like when you're renting a textbook, you know, you don't want to like ruin it permanently, you know, to avoid any like charges or like resell issues. So I would like use those highlighters specifically for like textbooks that I was renting. And yeah, it has a little eraser and you can erase them and your textbooks will look brand new again. So I highly recommend getting like one or two. Like, you're not going to use it as much. Well, maybe if you're a major that has like a lot of textbooks. I'm a design major, so besides my general ed classes, I really didn't need to use textbooks that much. But yeah. What else? Oh yeah, mechanical pencils. You can really use whatever. I just use the the Papermate, like, you know, colorful, typical mechanical pencil that everyone uses. I'll put a link in the description below, but I use that. Also, I would recommend getting like a planner or like a journal if you're like a bullet journaler, something like that to just keep, you know, your days and time organized, somewhere to put all your assignments down. I use a regular planner like my first couple semesters, but like many of you, I just cannot stick to a normal planner. So then I switched to bullet journaling for like a couple semesters recently, and it's been great. I love it a lot. But I kind of took a break after the whole COVID thing happened. And before I went back to it, I discovered Notion, which is like a digital planner type thing that's free to use. And I use that right now. So yeah, just whatever works for you. If it's digital, I guess it's not stationary, but if you're someone who likes putting pen to paper when it comes to planning your day, then get yourself a physical planner. Yeah. I also would get like little mini sticky notes, like the ones that you can put like, I don't know, in a book or in a journal or in a textbook that like marks your place. Sticky notes, because you'll probably find good use for them sometime in your college career. I would recommend getting like whiteout tape. The one I used was from Amazon. It was like an Amazon Basics item. It came with like a pack of like 6. I'm still like on my first one. Like, I still haven't finished any of them. When you're taking notes with a pen, you can always like use your whiteout tape if you make a mistake. I think that's all the stationery I can think of from the top of my head. If I remember any more, I'll just leave them in the description box below. But the bottom line is just invest a little bit in your stationery, like when you're first heading to college, just so that you won't have to worry about it anymore, you know? Like, I rarely have to buy any school supplies anymore since I took people's advice and just bought good stationery items from the get-go. So, yep. Okay, so the next thing on my list is thermal water bottles. I'm sure like everyone knows about like hydro flasks, but you don't have to go crazy and like spend $50 on a hydro flask, even though I did. But you don't have to if that's not your forte. Literally everywhere sells thermal water bottles. You can find them at Walmart, Target. As long as you find one that works and will keep your water cold for a long time, or for someone who drinks like hot drinks a lot, will keep your drinks hot for a long time, you're good. Yeah, just make sure to have a thermal water bottle so that you could fill it up with cold water in the morning and it'll still be cool when you come back from your classes for the day. And I would recommend getting a bigger one, like maybe like a hydro flask sized one, just so that it could last you your whole entire day of classes, and then when you come back, you just fill it up again and it'll last you throughout the rest of the evening. I know for me, I only need to fill my water bottle up like twice a day because it's big and it has enough cups of water to last me the whole day and that I need for the whole day. So highly recommend getting a big thermal water bottle. The next thing on my list is a feminine hygiene bag. This one is obviously for like girls, but you're gonna want to have like a mini bag that you can put in your backpack or your purse that has your feminine hygiene products in there, so that when it's that time of the month, you will be prepared and you won't have to like leave in the middle of a lecture because your period randomly came and you don't have anything. I would also recommend getting like a miniature bottle of like a painkiller if you're someone who gets like bad cramps. It's good to have it inside your backpack so like you can take it, you know, on the go. I got mine from like my dentist's office when I was like in freaking middle school. Like I went to a dentist appointment and they would let us like take prizes after each appointment, and like they had these like cute little bags, and I just picked one of those and I just have used that same bag ever since for like all my feminine hygiene products. So yeah, just get yourself a mini bag. It doesn't have to be expensive or anything, just any bag. And mine also has a little bracelet attachment too, so you might want to get one with a bracelet attachment just so that it'll be more convenient to carry around when you need it. The next thing on my list is a mini bag, whether you're a guy or a girl, because you know there are those times where you're gonna be going out to the gym or like to hang out with your friends, and you know you need some kind of bag, and you don't want it to necessarily be like a nice purse or something. You know, if you're just going to like screw around with your friends and you don't want to like ruin a nice bag, so just get like a mini bag that's not like too expensive, like a mini backpack or something. I know those are really popular nowadays. For me, I got myself a mini Conkin bag, but if you don't want to spend like $70 on a freaking mini bag, go to Target and they have like a lot of really cute mini backpacks and stuff that are much cheaper than that. So yeah, I would recommend getting a mini bag. The next thing on my list is a mini umbrella, water break. Anyways, like I mentioned, you're going to be, you know, walking a lot in college to and from your classes, and you'll be susceptible to the weather's mood every single day when you walk, and sometimes the sky likes to cry. So you're going to want to have an umbrella to be prepared for that. Make sure to get one that is sturdy enough and big enough to withstand like heavy winds. You don't know how many umbrellas I've been through where my umbrella would flip inside out when the wind wasn't even that strong. It was so annoying, and it happened a couple of times when it was pouring a lot and I was soaked because my stupid umbrella decided to break on me. That happens a lot here at UT Arlington, by the way. So you just see like umbrellas like in the trash cans all the time from like people's umbrellas like flipping inside out and freaking breaking on them. So long story short, make sure to have one that's strong enough. I mean, I would say maybe spend a little bit more on it so that you can make sure it's sturdy, but I mean, I paid a decent amount for mine and it still flipped inside out. So just get one that looks strong, maybe look at reviews, but yeah, that's an important thing to have. The next thing on my list is Venmo or some sort of app to transfer money between people, to, you know, be able to like pay your friends back when you go out to a restaurant together and like maybe one of you like foots the whole bill. You can pay your friend back later on, you know, through Venmo. Even for like club fees and stuff, I know a lot of clubs will tell you to like Venmo them like your club their club membership fees. So, you know, if you could just like set it up before you go to college, you'll be all set to transfer money to whoever you want to. I would also highly recommend setting up Apple Pay if you have an iPhone, or I think Google Pay or Samsung Pay or whatever like the Android version is called. I would highly recommend setting those up before you go to college, just because like you'll probably forget your debit card a lot like I did. And having Apple Pay on my phone always saved my freaking life, like plenty of times. If you do it like before you go to college, then you don't have to worry about doing it once you get there. So the next thing on my list is Spotify Premium and some sort of streaming service. I mean, let's be honest, like half the time that you're not working on assignments, you're gonna be binge watching shows and like jamming out to music. So you're gonna want both of those things. For Spotify Premium, it has a student discount that comes with Hulu, and it's $5 a month, which is a crazy good deal. That's what I use. That's what my little sister uses. And yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So I would definitely get that. I also use Netflix, but I don't pay for it. I just use my aunt's account. But usually I use Netflix for like movies, and I use Hulu more for like shows. But you don't need both if you don't want to. Just get what works for you. But I would highly recommend getting at least like one streaming service. So the next thing on my list is a smart TV. It's basically a TV that comes with like built-in apps. So like it has like YouTube app, some have the Spotify app on there. They also have on-demand channel apps, which are God sent. I use those apps all the time. What they are basically is if you have, like, let's say that your parents have a cable service already, like DirecTV, and they're paying for cable. With these on-demand channel apps, you can download an app for the specific channels that you use, and you sign in with your login, your like parents' login credentials, and basically you can watch any show on that channel on demand anytime you want through your TV, as long as like, you know, your parents or like someone has some sort of cable subscription already. So I love this. I use it for 90 Day Fiance. So I use the TLC Go one. I also use the Investigation Discovery one. And yeah, that's it basically. And you can also watch like YouTube videos on your TV, which I do all the time. It's just much nicer to watch your YouTube videos on a big screen. So I highly recommend getting a smart TV. Most, if not all TVs you get nowadays are going to be smart TVs, but I'm not really sure. But just make sure to get one that's a smart TV. I don't think they're not crazy expensive. You can get ones for a decent price. Like I think mine was like 100 something bucks, or maybe 200, but you can get ones that are cheaper than that and smaller than that are still smart TVs. Some of you can't bring it to college because you don't have enough space, but if you're gonna buy a TV, like just go ahead and get a smart TV. The next thing on my list is a wireless mouse. You're gonna be using your laptop a lot in college, and sometimes you're gonna want to use a mouse with it, even though it has like a trackpad. Like there's some certain things that are easier with a mouse, and I got mine on Amazon. It was like really cheap. I think I got it for like $6. I'll highly recommend getting one so that you can have one, you know, when you need it. The next thing on my list is Google Drive or some sort of hard drive. This is going to be more major dependent, but I think everyone should at least know how to access their Google Drive. I mean, if you have a Google email, like you automatically have like, I forgot how much gigs comes for free with your email, but everyone who has a Google email has like free Google Drive storage, which is basically like cloud storage in your email, and you can access like the stuff you upload to that drive anywhere. So, you know, you could start working on an assignment in your dorm and then go to the library, and if you forgot your laptop, you can log on to a computer in the library, log on to Google and pull it up. So it's like really convenient. If you are someone who hasn't heard of Google Drive, there's like a bunch of YouTube, I'm sure there's a bunch of articles or YouTube videos that can show you how to access it if you don't know how to already. For hard drives, this one's going to be more major dependent, because like not every major is going to have a lot of large files that you're going to want to back up. But if you're a computer science major and you need a backup code, for instance, or you're a design major like I am, and you have all these like big design Photoshop Illustrator files that you're gonna want to back up, you're gonna want to buy a pretty decent hard drive, especially if you're gonna start content creating in college, which a lot of people do. You're gonna want a hard drive too to like, you know, keep your large video files in. So I think in general having a hard drive is good. I got a 500 gigabyte one, or isn't 1 kilobyte, or I forgot, but it's either 500 or 1 kilobyte. if that's how you say it, but I got mine off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description to my specific one. It was a really decent price. It wasn't crazy expensive. So the final thing on my list is a whiteboard calendar. This is going to be especially important for those of you who are super forgetful or have ADHD like I do. Like, you're gonna need a whiteboard calendar. Like, seriously, I would say like the only reason I was able to turn in my assignments on time at all in college was because I had like a large whiteboard calendar hanging by my desk that had all the assignments for the month that were due, and it had like all the events and all the club meets and everything on there. Honestly, I would use that more than like my planner. I believe I got mine at Target. They have a whole variety of them. Whether you have ADHD or forgetful or not, I would just still get it. Like, it's just a good thing to have, and it's really convenient. Okay, so that seems to wrap up the list that I made. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. If you guys have any other items that I may have forgotten that you could think of, go ahead and drop them in the description box below so that other people will, you know to bring those as well. If you guys have any other videos that you would like me to make concerning college, be sure to drop them in the description box as well, and I will definitely like check out all of you guys' suggestions and make new videos accordingly. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.